Alright, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video, brand new commentary, and brand new gameplay, despite the fact that this game here is like, what, 3, almost 4 years old now? And this is actually the first game back that I started recording again as of very early this morning, as well as the game after that. You'll see in this game here, I'm quite rusty. And in the second game, you start to see that things actually start to come back pretty quick. I'm actually still surprises me till this day, despite the fact that I'm older, but I guess muscle memory is quite permanent. But anyway, let's get on to the topic of discussion today because it is definitely an important one. Now, as we all know, in the Call of Duty community as well as life itself, we all like to have a contingency plan, right? And in other words, what I'm trying to say is we all like to have a plan B, okay? So for a good amount of members in the community, SM2 is basically their contingency plan and or plan B for Call of Duty, because as you guys know, over the last few years, the community when it comes to Call of Duty has not been way too many happy, and the opinions in terms of the Call of Duty games have been more mixed than ever, to put it nicely, right? So anyway, a lot of people are waiting on SM2. Now, for those of you guys that don't know or are not in the loop exactly as to what SM2 is, I will give you a brief rundown, and I quote, "So what is SM2? SM2 is a modded Call of Duty client based off of the Modern Warfare 2 engine with all new features, weapons, perks, streaks, maps, quality of life changes, and more, all designed on top of our revamped gameplay to create a fun and balanced experience." I'll be leaving a link in the description below to the website, so for those of you guys that want to check it out that haven't yet, so you'll be able to do so. And on top of that, one thing I'm also noticing from the website here is that the last time that they updated their frequently asked questions page was on April 5th of 2021, which obviously was this year. This was like, what, 5 months ago or something like that. So it's been a while since they updated. So obviously a lot of people are thinking and or expecting this to be released in 2022, although the team themselves in the frequently asked questions section of the website states that they still have quite a long ways to go. So the community obviously and understandably so is more impatient than ever when it comes to Call of Duty, and a lot of us have stomached quite a lot. And we can only play the older Call of Duties for so long and keep swapping between them for so long before we start losing our minds or whatnot, or before we get bored. So we want that a little extra flavor, right? So, and like I said, in terms of the Call of Duties that have been coming out lately, our responses to those have been, and also in terms of we've been getting, have been, to put it nicely, very mixed, right? So now, the question is, when SM2 eventually comes out, soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, is it going to be enough? Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because obviously it's going to be on PC only, although it will have controller support. And one more other thing that I want to say is that pretty much anybody that has any type of PC, whether it's a gaming PC or not, if it's like at least 10 years old or something like that, and if the hardware is old as hell, you'd still be able to run this game because it's based off of the Modern Warfare 2 engine. So that is something that they themselves have specified, and they've also specified that there will be no skill-based matchmaking. They will have a competitive type of playlist or whatnot, but in terms of skill-based matchmaking in pubs, it is basically going to be like the old days where it was pretty much so light that it seemed like it didn't exist at all. So with all this kind of support, and with a game that is modded from the fans, by the fans, to the fans, and created for them, which I also believe is going to be free as well, do you guys think that this is going to be enough? Now, obviously, the only thing that I see that is kind of limiting when it comes to this is because of the fact that it's not, you can't play it on console. That's it. But other than that, again, like I mentioned earlier, if you have a PC, no matter how old it is, like even the rig that I run, which is quite old, with old specs, is still more than powerful enough to run this thing. Hell, maybe even I think my laptop from Walmart is as well. So with that being said, for those of you guys that are, especially for those of you that have been hearing about this for the first time, would this be something that you would be interested in downloading and playing? And is it going to be enough? Now, as we all know, another reason why I will mention this as well is, even though we love Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, the original COD 4, the original 2 Black Ops games, World at War, and all that kind of stuff, which is basically like what the combination of this game is going to be, with the best parts of those games all rolled into one. Basically, the question is, the reason why I'm saying is, will that be enough, is because we've already played the hell out of those games, right? We've already played the hell out of those games. So is this going to be enough to have kind of a permanent placeholder for our Call of Duty needs? I personally think, as much as I would like to say yes to that question, I personally think that the answer is no. And I'm not saying this because I'm focusing on pessimism and I'm trying to be negative. No, not at all. I'm just being realistic. Even if, let's put it this way. Let's take your favorite Call of Duty of all time, okay? Mine, as of right now, is Black Ops 2, right? So let's say Black Ops 2 all of a sudden was announced that it would be polished. They would get rid of the hackers or whatnot. No skill-based matchmaking implemented and stuff like that. There would be additional bug fixes and everything like that. And Black Ops 2 would be playable, and it would even be cross-play and downloadable on current consoles and PC and all that kind of stuff. All the bells and whistles that the Call of Duty games today, that they have today, well, granted, the games of today are kind of missing a few bells and whistles in terms of design and a few things that have been implemented thanks to Activision and Demonware. Skill-based matchmaking, cough, cough. But, and engagement optimization matchmaking, cough, cough again. Despite if that were the case, right, and if Black Ops 2 were to be polished and released that way, I can pretty much almost guarantee you that the majority of us would not be playing it all the time, even if it was like, when you first think about it, you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna grind the shit out of that. But at the same time, it's like you've been there, you've done that. You know, your muscle memory remembers everything. You've been through the experience before. And as we know, the new Call of Duty games, even though they're kind of subpar, they only last, like, for the hardcore Call of Duty fan, they're gonna last anywhere from, depending on how much they can handle and all that stuff, a new Call of Duty title will last anywhere from, like, let's say 6 months to like 2 years. You know, because a lot of people didn't like Cold War, so they went back to Modern Warfare. Some people didn't like Modern Warfare, they went back to Black Ops 4 and the yada yada yada. So Call of Duty games the multiplayer games by themselves really don't last very long anymore. At least what they used to at one point, but we're always craving that new experience. So unless SM2 has a lot of things in mind which they haven't discussed, which could very well be the case, I personally think that it's not something that could be done on a permanent basis, because we are constantly always craving more, and this is another reason why they've created seasons for a lot of games and stuff like that, and battle passes and stuff like that. They're trying to give the consumer more. Now, granted, Call of Duty is also getting away with simultaneously giving people less by revamping content. For instance, that's one of the things about Black Ops Cold War that a lot of people simultaneously liked and disliked, because even though they remastered a whole bunch of maps or whatnot from the older Call of Duty games, right? A few of the older Black Ops games, and put them back in the game. That in and of itself is not enough. We need brand new maps along with brand new weapons and brand new streaks and brand new engine upgrades and yada yada yada. The list goes on, and it's kind of like somebody that's hooked on a drug or something like that, to where the dose is no longer enough. You got to keep on increasing the dose to get the same kind of result, so to speak. So I think it's pretty much the same thing with Call of Duty. So, but at the same time, that is my opinion, that is my viewpoint. With that being said, as we're getting close to the end of this video here, what are your opinions? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What is your point of view? Because I am not the only member in the Call of Duty community. I sure as hell am not the only content creator and all that kind of stuff. So and of course, I'm not the only one with an opinion. So I really want to know yours. And I don't think any one of us could be wrong, honestly, because I think it specifically depends on the individual. I think some people would be able to stick it out on a more permanent basis, and yet at the same time there would be a lot of people that maybe wouldn't, because they're constantly craving that something new. And yet at the same time, we don't have full details of what the crew that's making this, the SM2 crew, as I'm going to call them, the devs, what they're going to do for, again, quality of life improvements, like they mentioned, as well as continued content. Because this is the year 2021. It is no longer 2012, 2013 when Black Ops 2 came out. Because Black Ops 2 was revolutionary and great for its time, and it was the perfect Call of Duty in a lot of ways for a lot of people. However, after all this time, nearly a decade later, you got to stick with the times if you want to survive. But that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch and or listen to this video. And don't forget to state your opinions and comments down below, which is great. And if you liked the video, hit a like. If you really liked it, then consider subscribing. All my links to all my social media is going to be down below. And I will be streaming back on Twitch on a regular basis now, at least maybe a couple days a week on weekends, especially now that I've got a lot more time. And I'm waiting for a Wi-Fi adapter to come in the mail, so that way I could start using the PC again to stream from the PC, because quite frankly, my Ethernet port on the PC got fried somehow, and I can't get in or out on the PC, so I'll be using a Wi-Fi adapter. And see, that's how old the PC itself is. But even that PC will be able to play SM2, and it gets the job done for now in terms of commentary until I end up getting a new one when I decide to pull the trigger on that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.